Hey, thanks for joining me for the Fast Friday Facts. It's April the 16th, 2021. Glad to have you with us. Hope you had a great week back following spring break. I wanted to share with you that this week we learned news regarding ESSER 3. And as most of you know, there have been 3 legislative funding supports from the U.S. Congress since the beginning of the pandemic. ESSER 1 occurred early in the pandemic, and Garrett County Schools received $545,813 from that funding support. And much of those funds went to helping us prepare for social distancing, cleaning, temperature checks, hand sanitizing, all those things of that type of nature. An additional amount of money of about $93,000 was also added specifically for technology. And we used those funds to help add another entry point for Chromebooks. And at the same time, we added 200 Chromebooks to our current use in late January. In the future, Chromebooks will be issued at 3rd, 6th, and 9th grade, and they'll stay with the student until they leave that particular school. ESSER 2 was approved in December. We kind of learned the information in January, and Garrett County Schools received an allocation of $2,598,846. And we've dedicated all of those funds to direct services to students, which was included in our spring break camps. We'll also use those funds for summer camps, before school and after school programs, and Saturday activities as well. That funding will be available for things like transportation, food services, as well as our staff salaries as we keep helping students catch up on the learning that they may have missed out during the pandemic. This week, we learned that our allocation for ESSER 3 has been released, and that amount will be $5,836,639. And of that amount, at least 20% must go to direct services for students. As I shared with you a second ago, all of our ESSER 2 funds have gone that way, so finding the ability to do 20% out of ESSER 3 shouldn't be much of an issue. During the board meeting on Thursday, April the 15th, our board approved 7 math interventionist positions, and we'll use ESSER 3 dollars to pay for those positions, and that'll cover almost all of the 20% of those direct services. So we'll really be in good shape there. But we'll also be looking at the ESSER 3 funds for things like interactive boards in all of our classrooms, as well as bipolar ionization for our air systems. The bipolar ionization is designed to kill germs in the air, including COVID-19, but many others as well. So this could impact the health of our students and our staff moving forward, not just from COVID-19, but from the flu and other types of things as well. And we hope that helps our attendance. The ESSER 3 funds will be available through September 2024. And this is an extra year, which could allow us to extend summer, before and after school, and Saturday, and our spring break or fall break camps that we will have. And we'll be looking for other creative ways to support our students as well. Those could include supports for enrichment as well as recovery. And in the end, we want it to be clear that every student has had multiple opportunities to experience enrichment and recovery with these funds. The total for these 3 forms of assistance from the federal government is $8,981,298, plus the additional $93,000 for technology. We'll be working to be good stewards of the funds and for finding ways to impact our students. I also wanted to share a couple of things with you. In addition, as an update to SB 128, I'll remind everyone that SB 28 is that supplemental year bill. Anyone wishing to consider the supplemental year must submit an application by May 1st, 2021. We've placed those forms in all of our schools and they're online as well. And while that's the deadline to submit the request does not guarantee that supplemental year will be granted. The Board of Education will be making a determination in May regarding SB 128. And their decision will be to either accept all applications or to accept none of the applications. So SB 128 is also filled with a number of ramifications that parents will need to consider. I want to share a couple of examples with you. One example is a senior who graduates this year may request to return another year. And if it's granted, the senior would be allowed to return and would likely repeat the courses taken the previous year. However, if that student were to earn a better grade, it wouldn't impact their GPA. That's not our decision, that's a decision at the state level. That's because the student is a graduate. Also because of that, that student would not be eligible for dual credit. The student could do dual enrollment, but the student would not be classified as a high school student within the university or the college. And that affects how much the cost for a college class could be. Another example to consider is an extreme case, but one that could occur. Suppose a sixth grade student decides to return to sixth grade again, and suppose that sixth grade student is an athlete hoping to participate in a full year of sixth grade athletics. Well, that works unless the student turns 13 prior to August 1. If that happens, the student wouldn't be eligible to participate at the sixth grade level and could actually age out in the 7th and 8th grade years by turning 14 and 15 prior to August the 1st of those school years. Now, that example isn't intended to discourage a request, but just intended to point out the complexity of the decision. So if the board does approve granting an extra year, we will be setting up sessions to explain as many of these consequences as possible prior to a final decision by the family. I also wanted to share that this week our teacher leaders met for the first time and will begin looking at summer work and district-wide curriculum choices. They have some heavy lifts, but they'll make some great decisions for our students and our staff, and we're really excited about the fact that we have this team together. Our strategic planning team met for the third time. We'll be looking at strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, or for short, we call that SWOT, during our next 2 meetings. And they've been making great progress, and we're excited about sharing that information with you in the near future. Well, I guess that's it for today. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to check in on what's happening at the Garrett County Schools. I know your time is valuable, and I appreciate you sharing some of that with us. I look forward to sharing some updates with you next week, and I hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.